Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Let's start our video with a story about a retired man, an arrogant Karen, and an unexpected encounter at the mall. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Not even in hell. So I'm 61 years old, retired, and I live alone. By virtue of being 61 and retired, the garden where I used to grow my flowers has been paved over. So one summer day, I'm at my local mall looking for a coffee pot. I broke my old one. Now I'm wearing a spotty folk festival t-shirt, camo shorts, and naked feet in Birkenstocks. Very managerial, LOL. So I'm in some shop or another looking at the coffee pots. I hear raised voices a couple of aisles over, a woman's voice screaming words like lazy and you rude brat, etc. A quiet male voice was trying to be heard and failing dismally. So I go to the aisle. As I round the corner, I see a young boy in his mid-teens, very well appointed in his summer clothes, with an anorexic gorgon screaming into his face. Then she upped with her hand and slapped the kid in the face. As he stood there in shock, manfully not crying, she sees me and comes charging over, grabs me by the arm and drags me to the kid, yelling something about fired and lazy, you're his manager, and other nonsense I didn't pay attention to. In the midst of the tirade, I turned to young guy, winked, and mouthed, play along. You see, I've been listening to these things for a while, and I've got a response ready. Oh, please let her give me a cue. And she does. She goes on and on about shop workers lying about not working there because they're lazy, etc. Jackpot. So I say, ma'am, do shop workers often lie to you to avoid serving you? Her, all the time. Kids are so lazy today. That was the gist of it, but there was more screaming and spit. Me. Ma'am, I don't think that's laziness. I think it's because you're such an arrogant, ignorant bee, the devil himself wouldn't have you in hell. When you put your 2 feet to the floor in the morning, the devil says, oh God, she's up. She looks like she's the one who got slapped. For the minute, she says nothing. I turn to the kid, smile, and say, and now we enjoy the show. She starts buzzing around the lights. There's screaming, spit flying, things getting thrown off shelves, the whole 9 yards. Me and the kid had to dodge a few flying objects. I just kept encouraging the kid and Diet Medusa's tantrum by making comments like, ooh, good one, and Mrs. isn't much of a pitcher, is she? Did I mention that my flower garden has been paved over? By this time, a manager and a couple of security guards have arrived, and she has worked herself into a total lather. Well, okay, I helped, but she did most of the work herself. There's nothing sensible coming out of her at this point, just screeches and spit. I tell them what I saw, and the kid confirmed it and fills in the rest. How she had thought he worked there, wouldn't believe that he didn't, and had slapped him. Off we went to see the security footage. So the cops were called, she was fitted for steel bracelets, and I encouraged the kid to call his parents. They decided to press charges. I found out later that she was sent for a psych eval and ended up in a psychiatric hospital for a couple of months, and I got to feel all supportive of a younger brother. You guys got to have each other's backs. Anorexic Gorgon and Diet Medusa might be some of the best descriptors I've ever seen for someone like these. 2 words each time, and I can see her. And our second story. If I remove the do not return in store sticker, you have to return it for me. I currently work at the customer service desk for a very popular retail store. Every short-tempered customer decided to come in and end up with me trying to help them. Out of all of them, this guy takes the cake for this week. A customer came in with a power battery today that he had purchased at another store. He had the receipt. Usually, we would gladly accept any returns with a receipt as long as it passed all the policy guidelines, but the item had a sticker on it that read, "Do not return in store," with the manufacturer's number under it. We had this issue yesterday, but the customer understood and took the problem up with the manufacturer. This customer, he decided to take it up on me. AC equals angry customer, M equals me. M. I'm sorry, sir, but unfortunately we'll be unable to return the product since the item states that we cannot return it in store. AC, that's stupid. What the F am I supposed to do with this? I don't need it anymore. Give me someone who knows what they're talking about. I don't need the money. I have money. Takes out a wad of cash and waves it in my face. I just don't need it anymore. I paged my service manager working at the time to the service desk. Their conversation went the same way, so he had to page our assistant manager, AM, the person who has the power to accept it to make him happy or decline it. Before she came, my service manager left me at the desk with the customer alone with a growing line of customers behind him. AC, this is bullcrap. What if I remove the sticker? You'll have to take it back if the sticker isn't on it. M, I'm sorry, but I've already seen the sticker myself as well as my other manager. AC, well, you won't have proof it was on. Proceeds to peel sticker off. Give me back my money now. M, sir, I watched you peel the sticker off and there is a camera behind me. I point at the monitor above me that shows a live feed of us that recorded you peeling the sticker off the product. The other customers behind you, who were watching him and rolling their eyes at him the whole time, have also witnessed you peeling off the sticker. AC, what the F do you want me to do with this then? Throws the sticker at me. M, do not throw things at me. Please step aside so I can help the next customer, sir. I'm not going to complete your transaction anymore. AC, F no, give me the sticker back. I kept ignoring him after that while he demanded me to give him back the sticker until my manager came up. A customer in line called him out for being rude and childish to a child, which made my day. AM, how can I help you today? AC, I want to return this, but she won't do it for me. She's been disrespecting and ignoring me. M picks the sticker off the floor and hands it to my manager. The sticker was on the product. AM reads it. Why is it off now? Sorry, sir, but unfortunately we cannot return this for you. You can call the manufacturer's number down here to resolve this issue. AC, this is effing dumb. I want my money back, dumb B. AM, excuse me? Please do not curse at me. You can now leave my store. Random customer in line. You need help taking him out? My manager continued to tell him to leave our store a few more times before he left while cursing at us. I'm still trying to wrap my head around his thought process. A part of me is also a little angry because he'll probably bring it to another store without the sticker on it to return it. Hopefully they reject him too. And our next story. Not the place to skateboard. This was about 15 years ago when I was the manager of a video game store. We were right next door to a place that sold hair care products in a box mall setup. We would have an issue with the local school kids skateboarding on the sidewalk in front of our store, even though there was a skate park about 3 blocks away. A few times a kid would not be paying attention and would run into an elderly lady leaving the neighbor's store. The worst one, the poor lady was knocked over and broke her wrist and had bruising on the side of her face. Her head hit the ground pretty hard. The neighbor store manager and I talked, and we agreed to ask kids to stop skateboarding the second we saw it. We would also let them know about the skate park. 99% understood and would go to the park, but this is a story of the 1%. I was putting out stock on a quiet morning when I saw a kid go whizzing by on his skateboard. I stopped and watched for a minute to see if he was passing by or not. Sure enough, he's going back and forth. I popped out the front door and advised him about the skate park, and we don't allow skateboarding on the sidewalk due to accidents. He shrugs me off and walks away. 10 minutes later, he was back with his friends. I advised them again. They shrugged me off. I got a call from the neighbor's store manager. She said she told them the same thing, but they told her to F off. I then went to the front door as one of my regulars was coming in. I told the regular I'd be a moment. He didn't care. I stopped one of the kids again and told him he can't skateboard here. Same spiel as always. Due to some accidents, we don't allow skateboarding here. You're going to have to leave. There's a skate park 3 blocks north. Kid shrugs at me and walks back to his buddies. I go back to my front counter because the regular was ready to buy his game. We finish the transaction and he walks to the front door. I see him stop at the door and pause for a minute. My immediate thought was he was watching for the kids and didn't want to get hit. He then whips the door open but doesn't go through, and I hear this loud bang. He turns to me and says, "Hey Rob, you're right. Accidents do happen when you skateboard in front of your store," and then proceeds to walk out. I grabbed some paper towel and walked to the door. The kid was laying on the ground crying and nose bleeding all over his shirt. I handed him a piece of paper towel and said, "You guys should go to the skate park." I then wiped the grease stain left on my door and went back to work. Never saw those kids again. Gotta love those customers that actually help by doing things you can't. Well, you could, but possible trouble would occur. And our last story. So ever since we bought our house 6 years ago, we've had issues with our HOA. Extremely high dues with zero amenities in our neighborhood. Initially, we had issues with them because we were told when buying our house, the annual HOA dues were built into our mortgage and would be paid by the mortgage company. This was incorrect, and only the first year was paid by them. Not sure if we misunderstood or were told wrong. This caused problems in our second and third year as we missed payments. Once informed, we paid in full and made everything whole with the HOA. Then we started getting the violations from the HOA. We fixed them as they came in and tried to stay in contact with the company managing the HOA that sent out fines and whatnot. Then nothing for a year or two. In the past year, we received a letter in the mail saying we owe them $32,000 in violations with itemized daily fines that didn't add up to $32,000, but instead added up to $34,650. My wife tried to contact the managing company several times and left messages, sent emails, and one letter and never heard anything back from them or was able to speak to anyone. A week or two later, we get another itemized fine for violations for $8,000, and then a couple of days after that, another one for $3,000. All of these threaten within them to put a lien on our property unless we paid in full with no deadline date mentioned. We try to contact them again. Every time we talk to the members of the HOA, they say we have to go through the managing company. We never hear anything back from them, and we don't receive anything else in the mail about any of this until this past Friday, about a year after the threats to place a lien. The text of the letter is below, removing identifying info. Our company has purchased the property located at our address from our HOA's foreclosure sale. Enclosed, you'll find a copy of the deed which conveys the property to our company from the trustee for the Homeowners Association, filed in the County Register of Deeds on 1/30/2020. We usually give the previous owner 10 days to vacate the property, but considering the current pandemic situation, we're not doing it and we want to work out an arrangement with you. So please contact us to let us know your plan and intention. The attached document in their letter is titled as Trustee Lien Foreclosure Deed. In case it matters, our mortgage is in good standing and paid every month, and it's paid up to date. So I have a ton of questions. Do they have an actual claim to the property? The trustee lien foreclosure deed says it was purchased for $8,000. Our initial mortgage was worth $250,000. It seems crazy that they could purchase our property out from under us for a fraction of the cost and tell us we have to leave. Did they legally have to inform us of any part of these proceedings so we could have a chance to defend ourselves or pay off the ridiculous fines? We didn't receive any form of contact from them after the threats to place a lien until this most recent letter trying to evict us. We're contacting a lawyer now. This just seems so crazy. I really can't understand what's going on. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.